Hello, welcome to Flory Models, and to kick this one off we're going to have a look at some tornadoes from this year's Royal International Air Tattoo. another busy week this week. We've been working pretty much on the Liberator. Quite boring really, olive drab, but there's a few things you can do with it, and that's by lightening up and changing the tones. So we've gone along with, you know, adding white to the mix, a little bit of black and things like that, trying to break it up and make it a little bit nicer. To be honest, it's not probably the best kit in the world. It's showing its age and everything else, but with the sort of the other bits that have come along with the Edard kit, the photo etch, things like that, it's really sort of coming together now, and I hope to get that one finished off by early next week. And then we can move on with this one, which I know a lot of you have been asking about, and it is coming along very, very shortly. We do have the electrics all done for it now. Our very own Marcus Jellyman has done all electrics, so we've got the fibre optic cables all here, and then we've got all the electrics sorted out and done. We've got the circuit boards, because obviously this one's going to have flashing lights as well for the navigation and stuff like that. So really excited about that one, but I do want to get the Liberator out of the way first, so because quite frankly it's a huge bench and we're going to need the room. So that's really it with that. A couple of things we need to talk about, because we've obviously missed the forum with REAT and things like that have been going on recently. First of all is the Armoured SIG is going to finish tomorrow. Okay, this is the World War II German Armoured SIG. Fantastic builds in that, and it's really been a fun one. And because it's sort of got armour, it's helped all the armour guys and people who aren't so much into the aircraft get a focus point, and it's worked so well. So what we're actually doing is an Allied one as well. This is an Allied SIG one. This is going to start on the 13th of October, sorry, the 13th of August, and it's going to run to the 5th of October. So it's a great little one as well. So it works well with German stuff, you know, and I got involved as well, so you never know, I might end up doing a Sherman probably, something like that. In the meantime as well, the actual group build for the multi-engine group build, that's going to be finishing on the 18th of September. Okay, so it's time to sort of, you know, get those together as well. We're going to be talking about this in a moment, but I just have to mention that the standard of work for this particular group build, I have to say, I think it's been higher than any other one so far. So absolutely fantastic work coming along there. First of all, big thanks to everybody who has sent me emails, commented on YouTube and things like that, and Facebook as well, that have said about the actual great video work for the camcorder. You know, I took the video camera and we went off to React with Jelly, and we did loads of filming and everything else. So it's like spending 2 days behind the viewfinder to get it, and it's really paid off, because I've managed to capture, I hope I've passed over some of the things where modelers look at aircraft, and when you see the real thing, it's a lot different from seeing them in your museums and things like that, because you can see the weathering that they actually have, and especially things like the Italian Tornado as well. It's like a patchwork quilt. So it's really nice to do that. So we've got some more of those coming up in today's show as well, so I'll be sprinkling them along as we go. But basically I've got full videos. The ones you're going to see today is the one on the tornadoes that were at the show, and the Italian demonstration, and then ground movements of those, and then the classics. So I've got lots of Hunters, Meteors, and lots of other things like that as well from the show. Obviously there was more at the show, but I can only get so many in, and obviously the ones which didn't fly in that day, the 2 days we were there, obviously because I wasn't there for the main air show itself. So if you are enjoying them, what's going to happen now is over the weekend I'm going to be putting together the REACT show page, if you like, and what it will have all these videos, and the ones that you're seeing here is only a small selection. There's lots more of them going to be on there, so there's going to be hours and hours of video that can bore you to death, or you'll love every minute of it, that are going to be on the site. But I thoroughly enjoy doing it, so it's something I'm going to be doing a lot more of in the future. So anyway, as I said, great things that have been going on. One thing I do have to mention is that every now and again you get a model come along that sort of captures your eye, okay? And then this week what happened was that Rob Bedford finished his BF-109 with the Minstrel missile, which is that sort of unguided Junkers Ju-88 bomb, and everything else. And I tell you what, you know, long time ago, I've just heard this guy was on about what is art, and apparently art is something that is completely useless apart from you can look at it, and that is then art. So in some ways you can say, people say cars are a piece of art and things like that, and horses are art. Well, they're not, because they move and they have a purpose. A model actually doesn't have a purpose in life apart from looked at, so it is art. So what we all do as modelers is actually an art form, okay? And then this particular one grabbed me completely, because I was completely sold on the scale effect that this particular model's got. So you can probably see the pictures coming along here as well, but what's going to happen is, if Rob agrees to it, I have asked him, I'm going to put it on the main site as well for non-members to see it. But it is one of those ones where you follow the build and you see the information and the detail that he's gone into, and explaining what the weapon system actually is, how it worked and how it was developed and everything else, and has really gone to town on this. And I must admit, you follow Rob through it completely, and he's got a real knack for what I go on about tonal variations and stuff like that. If you want to know what I'm trying to get across, have a look at these, because these are absolutely spot on. It's just the weathering is totally in scale, the paintwork is just as it would look natural, worn down as everything else. And the 109, it just absolutely works. It completely works. And the conversion, because obviously this is a 1/32, so it's a conversion as well for the JU88, a Revell JU88 being converted into the Mistral missile. So the Mistral bomb, or whatever you're going to call it. But it really works. So it's very important you go and have a look at this one, because this is one of those ones that you can sort of aspire to, and I know I certainly have. Okay, so here's a look at some of the classic jets, some of the beautiful hunters as well that are at the show.
That's what you said. I know when you do that, it's just the engine. There's an airfield that they use for training out of Yeovil, which is about 10 miles west of Yeovil. They fly it out to Probably call it. I used to.
So back in stock is the old mini drills. Now we've been out of stock of these for ages and ages and ages. Yes, they're like a nail thing, but the great thing with these things is that they are battery, so there's no cables and all the rest of it, but they just buff, so they buff the plastic clean. It's not like it's melting it with a Dremel and everything else, but you get different attachments, and if you like, you've got the attachment heads for them as well, which are quite handy because they've got little scoop shapes and acorn shapes, so you can get in here. Great to get rid of ejector pin marks. But another one is I actually use the stone set. He says I've lost them, they've tipped over him a thing, but I use the stone set for doing glass work because, to tell you the truth, I made a bit of a hash of joining the actual clear glass parts, the side bits that come along with this particular one. So what I actually did, I ended up using the stone, the polishing stone on that, and ground it down, then polished it out to get a nicer fit and everything else, and it really did work. Anyway, I know I get loads of emails, probably 5 or 6 a week, saying when are you going to get them back in stock. For some reason, the people who I get them offers were out of stock, so they've got them into us now, so we've got loads here. And they're selling very well. So if you want to get one, they are in stock. Everything else, we are quite low on paint at the moment, extra acrylics, but as I said, they should be in next week as well, and we'll get it sorted with those. Okay, so that's about it. So we said we've got part 4, the last part of the Canberra build, which will be up on the site this afternoon, so that will be up. So that was complete this one. It's the last part of the Canberra build. Then obviously it'll be part 2 of the Liberator will be up there, and then hopefully we get the actual the bits and pieces from the React, all the video, and then they'll be on the site. So there's loads for you to do over the weekend. Everyone, until next week, happy modelling and take care.